What's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new short movie. The name of this short movie is What If Olympians and DxD reacted to Naruto, son of Hera and Zeus. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted short movie. Now before continuing, this shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Jimmy Dice for suggesting this idea. Anyways, moving onwards, he wanted me to give Naruto a harem from both DxD and from, well, Olympus as well. So here it is. And moving onwards, this is an OP Naruto story and a reaction story as well. That idea that he has been suggesting for a while now. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and follow me on my both channels and like and subscribe to Mayta, What If and Apollo Uchiha as well. And stay tuned because there will be a story or a short movie uploaded there shortly as well after this. As without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Our story begins in New York City, atop of the Empire State Building, where hidden amongst the plain eyes of mortals that cannot see them were the Olympian Greek gods, as Mount Olympus was placed there instead of Greek. As up in the mount we see that in the throne room where all the council of the gods would gather were there again, and they were bickering with one another. Artemis was bickering with Apollo, of who was the older twin. Athena was on Hermes' ass for something. Hephaestus was tinkering with his toys that he was holding on to. Aphrodite and Ares were again smacking their lips together. Hera was just talking to Demeter about how Zeus was, well, way too much out of line, while Zeus and Poseidon themselves were just bickering alongside with Hades, who for some reason was there as well alongside with Persephone. And Dionysus was just sleeping soundly. As this was going on, we see that on the other side of the throne room was the hearth in which Hestia resided. There we see that she just sighed and huffed while looked away because her family as usual was bickering with one another, and she didn't like that one bit. As now we see, suddenly with a bright golden light, the Olympians alongside their thrones and Hestia all together disappeared, engulfed by the golden lightning. As when the lightning died down, the thrones as well as the gods were transported into a new domain. As there they met with the other pantheons, such as the Shinto pantheon, where the biblical accurate god's angel Michael, the leader of angels, as well as Azazel, the leader of fallen angels, and finally the four families such as Leviathan family, Phoenix family, and nonetheless Gramarye family were all there from the devil kingdom. As Zeus raised an eyebrow, what is the meaning of this? Why have you brought us here? I thought we had an agreement that none of us will interfere with one another. Calm down, Lord Zeus. It is not us who have brought you all here. With all respect, we don't even know how we ended up here in the first place. Is this true, Michael? He said, looking towards the leader of the angels. Yes, of course it is. We all are not aware of how did this even happen, and yet we are here. As suddenly, the leader of the Gramarye clan then eyes widened as his little sister and her peerage then appeared. Brother, what is going on? Who are these people? They are from the Greek pantheon, and they seemingly have also arrived here for some reason, as you have. So wait, Athena then said, you all were teleported here alongside us? Oh great, now I can't even rest here, said Dionysus with the ground, as the others just looked at him and rolled their eyes. Dude, look at the atmosphere. Everyone here is tensed up because out of nowhere we are here. Chaos knows what is going on. Yes, we are not aware. I haven't had a word with Father, but he said that if we are here, then it is important for us to heed whoever it is. As suddenly, a bright light emerged as the devil, as well as fallen angel and the angel's leader's eyes widened, as a voice of booming command then came. I am the one you call Chaos and God, and I am here to tell you the tale of the one true prince of Mount Olympus. Huh. So it's about me, said Ares with arrogance, while Hephaestus just groaned and looked away, while Apollo and the others just snickered at that, while he grumbled. It is about the third son of Hera and Zeus, as everyone's eyes widened. But we are only two brothers, me and the Crip. We don't have any other, at least not, of Zeus and Hera. As Athena and everyone else agreed to that, what Ares has said, it will be revealed once you see through this tale. As after that, all of them were then seated on their places that that were brought there. As the screens flickered, as it was revealed, after the Titan mark ended, Hera and Zeus were celebrating after defeating their parents with the help of the younger gods that had taken their side, with Zeus's children over the course of years. As now we see, during that, they spent the night together, and so Naruto was born. And once he was born, unlike the others, he took time in growing up. And Zeus and Hera, for once, aside from being immortals, kings and queens of the gods and of Mount Olympus and heaven, had a chance to become normal parents as well. As time began to pass by, it took Naruto centuries to grow up because Hera was enjoying her time, and she didn't want him to end up like Hephaestus or Ares as well. As now we see, both Zeus and Hera were shocked. Wait, so we had our third child then? In this timeline? From the looks of it, yes. So it is about the Greeks, then why are we here? Said Azazel. Not in disrespect to you, Zeus and everyone else, but I don't understand. It is said that everything will be revealed soon, Azazel, said Michael, as everyone then settled down. As now we see, the story continued as Naruto was growing up. He was taught by Hestia, Athena, and Artemis herself how to be calm, collected, and ruthless to your enemies. And unlike the other gods who were his brothers and half siblings, he turned out to be quite moderate and a gentleman. To his family, he was loving and adoring and caring, and a kind and just prince. And as for his enemies, he became ruthless and cold. Huh, just my kind of brother. You know what? For once I kind of agree with Ares, said Apollo with a confused and mortified look on his face. I mean, for our enemies, he will be a nightmare, but for us, he'll be like our little brother. Naruto respected each and every one of his family members, especially his older brother Hephaestus, more than anyone. What? Said Ares, as everyone chuckled at that, because he was the one who crafted weapons for him, and Naruto adding the insight and helping him out since the young age was more than enough than Hephaestus could agree to. And he was the one who allowed, finally, Aphrodite and Hephaestus to divorce because he requested this to his mother. And seeing that Hera couldn't deny her son, she, in the end, agreed. Even though Zeus was a little bit mad at Naruto, but Naruto, in the end, asked for his forgiveness. And in the end, Zeus had to forgive him. I would be pissed at that if that happened, but in the end, I would kind of forgive my son. After all, Naruto was his prince and his most perfect child, not a warmonger or, well, his poor child Hephaestus. Yeah, feeling the love here. As Zeus looked down, as he sighed because he still regretted what he has done to Hephaestus. As now we see, Ares was pissed at that. As time went on, he challenged Naruto for not only a duel, but also for the position of a prince. And in the end, Naruto, within 10 seconds, was able to defeat him. As after doing that, Naruto lifted him up and told him again. And they went on for like that for 100 years. As in the end, it was God of War who then said, with a smile, I accept you as my king. As Ares was quite shocked, and so was everyone else. You never backed down from a fight. It's not that. I see what I did there, or my other self. He respected the boy, because instead of looking down on me, he, as a warrior, told me to get up and face again and again, and showed me that he was outsmarting me and powerful. I don't like to admit it, but he really is stronger than me. As Zeus and Hera somewhat felt proud at their son that wasn't even born yet. As he grabbed Hera's hand and looked towards her, maybe, yeah, we might see. As that is when Naruto reached at the age of 18, as he was seated with Apollo, Hermes, and Ares and Hephaestus. All of them were having a guys' night, as they were at Apollo's temple drinking a wine. As one of them then asked Naruto, so when are you gonna marry Naruto? Wait, what? What do you mean by that, brother? As Apollo and everyone began to chuckle. I would do that, definitely, said Hermes. Yeah, dude, you would. As after that, Naruto then had a golden hue on his face because he was blushing. I don't know, I'm still young, remember? And I doubt that I would ever, maybe. No, you're not gonna end up like my little sister, or even Athena, or Aunt Hestia. What's wrong with that? The three of them asked with a frown on their faces. Well, other me, I guess, said Apollo, as he, even though being truth god, sucked at lying, he needed to save his skin, so he blamed it on his other self. I mean, what can they do, right? As he watched in mortification, that later on, Apollo was wounded by them, by beaten because of their woman fury. Geez, I don't know, everyone. As back in the present, Naruto then said, I mean, I never felt anything akin to this. Dude, we so need to get you laid. As Ares also agreed to that. Yes, I think you should. As Hephaestus then said, I don't think you should agree to them, Naruto. Do what your heart feels like. That's my advice to you, said Hephaestus with a grunt, as that is why Naruto respected him the most and loved his older brother the most, because he always gave him the choice in his advice, that he was the one in control, and that made Naruto feel a lot more respect for him. As Hephaestus looked down and only imagined how could it be to have a younger brother like that, a family member he could feel kinship to and close to. And Hera and Zeus also saw that, as Ares then said, oh, shut up, Crip. In the story, please stop that, Ares. Yeah, whatever you say. Anyways, the offer still stands. If you can't, there is an orgy party going on, and Apollo and me and Hermes are gonna go there soon. So about you join in? No. I think you might go and enjoy yourself. I'd rather not. So they do have this sort of stuff, huh? Yes, they do. But I wonder, why does the story revolve around us? As that is when it was continued that the crooked one tried to attack again, but this time it was prevented by them. But that was not the end of it, because Naruto not only instilled this time around the fear of him in the hearts of the Titans, his grandfather, but also in the hearts of the other pantheons, because they had realized that Naruto was strong, god of the violent storms, as well as god of sky, earth, and heaven itself. He was much more stronger than anyone on Mount Olympus, but yet he loved and adored his family. And even Zeus and Hera knew that even if their son was tens and thousands of times stronger than them or their father, and could defeat them alone, he still loved them to death, and would never do anything to harm them, or would never allow anything to harm them, and would fade before anything happens to them. And that is why they would rather fade if anything harms him. As now we see, in Naruto's parents' temple, as Naruto was called there. Naruto? What is it, mother? It's us here, you can ease up. So what is it, Mom? Why did you call me out of nowhere? We called you here, son, because we found out that you had a little talk with your siblings. About me being marrying, right? Yes. Look, I don't know, maybe I should take the oath and remain a virgin, I don't know. Even if you do, that is a good sentiment, Naruto, but I think your mother and I agree that you should marry. But I don't even know. Who should I marry? I mean, you're soon going to be a king, and soon there will be an allegiance with the other pantheons, because we have discovered a race that is capable of challenging the gods, called the Astral race, and they have claimed themselves to be the gods of cosmos, primordial level gods, and we need to take care of them, or found an alliance and common grounds with them. Leave them to me. If they try to do anything, said Naruto as his eyes gained dark look, as his eyes that were blue began to glow cold hue. And it was chilling enough as everyone felt chills run down their spine, even the Olympians. Well, gotta hand it to him. The glare that he gives is amazing, said Apollo jokingly. Dude, yeah, I, I'm happy that he is our brother, if anything else, and our ally. Yeah, I get that, said Ares in a low tone, because if this was Naruto being serious, then, yep, he would never face him, because he was much more stronger than Crooked One, or even all of the Olympians combined. As Athena, for some reason, felt hot on her face, and so could be said for Artemis and Hestia. As now we see, Naruto continued looking like that until Hera then placed a hand on his head, and so did Zeus. Calm down, son. You don't need to worry about such things yet. Although I am worried what would they do, but because you are here, I'm less paranoid, knowing that nobody would challenge us. Yeah. So, why do you want me to marry again, back on the topic, if that is not it? Well, because we want you and your future wife to be the future king and queen of Mount Olympus. As Naruto's eyes went, what? What is this nonsense? You're okay, you're not going anywhere, both of you? Or are you aiming to retire? Well, Naruto, as much as I hate to admit it, being a king, I have enjoyed it for a while. Of course you would, said Poseidon and Hades, as Zeus rolled his eyes. But he wanted to listen to his son's words, or his other's words, what he would say. But I want this to be passed down to someone. I thought Ares would be a fine prince, but because of his tendencies and his ideals, I don't think so. And as for Hephaestus, he's not interested. I asked him. Yeah, I'm still not interested. I know, son. And you have all the characteristics of being a true prince. Think about it. Everyone loves and adores you. Even the minor gods, satyrs, demigods, all of them. Of course they would. All of them are considered to me my family. As Hera frowned at that because she didn't like demigods. Of course he shouldn't mingle with those. As even Artemis hunters, even if they disliked all males, he considered them his family and loved them to death, and would protect them no matter what. As Artemis smiled, knowing that at least one of her brothers was capable enough of protecting them and not being arrogant. As now we see, Naruto then said, "But father, why? I mean, why would you want to retire? I thought you wanted the throne and not wanted to be challenged about it." "I still don't like being challenged, but I have decided it is time for me to step down and pass the torch to the next generation. You, Naruto." I don't know what to say, and I don't even know if I want to marry someone or not. Well, I don't know about that. There are some few who are interested in you. Really now? Yes. So that is why I have decided to not cause any chaos and war, that you are allowed to marry more than one woman. Wait, what? Said Naruto, as the others also were like this, as they all looked towards Hera. What? I think I might do that if there is a reason to start a war. As Zeus grumbled, yeah, I don't want another headache. As Zeus looked towards Naruto with a pleading look, please, son, try to understand where we are coming from. We don't wish for another war to happen here. Yeah, I guess you're right. But still, I don't know who to marry, I guess. We will have a talk with them soon, and you will meet your potential partner soon. In the meantime, you have to go to the new lands that have been discovered, where these astrals have been visiting. And if it is unclaimed, you will claim them. Okay, I guess. And so Naruto departed and arrived at the elemental nations, where he was to find and establish peace treaty. But there he found that the land was torn in between itself because of wars. So he had to intervene. So he morphed into a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, tan-skinned male and went towards Konohagakure, the one where he was connected to nature the most. And so, after arriving there, he integrated himself using the mist as a shinobi, and soon he met her, Kushina Uzumaki, the brash boyish girl who was strong enough to take down 100 men alone within a single attack without breaking a sweat, as most of the women there were quite impressed, and males were blushing up for a bit. As that is when Apollo did the wolf whistle as Artemis slapped him. What? Why is that, Artie? He might be our sister-in-law, so you better watch out. Although she was feeling a little bit annoyed that this girl got a chance with Naruto. Wait, why was she thinking that? Aphrodite would make her fade with embarrassment if she ever found out about this. And as they all witnessed that Naruto not only married her in the future after falling in love for the first time, he was afraid what might his parents think and what chaos might cause there. But soon, he had to leave after spending the night together because of the rules that were in place. He left a letter telling her what has transpired and who he was. After arriving shortly after at the birth of their son, but something catastrophic happened. He tried to intervene, but the laws stopped him because that land was claimed by him, and the laws of the Greek applied there. He cursed his father's laws at that time because in front of his eyes, his wife sacrificed with a smile on her face, as his son, Manma Uzumaki, was made into a Jinchuriki of a typhoon. Typhoon? Yes, from the story it seems so. Athena said, as Hera and Zeus were quite shocked. Naruto married the woman in mortal form, making that boy their official grandson. So that boy is our official grandson, even if he is a demigod. As everyone looked towards Hera as if she had grown a second head. I mean, Naruto did marry him in mortal state, so in a sense that is kind of like, yes, your grandson. We have to do something. That boy. As the life went on, Naruto continued to witness that his son tried his best to live up to the expectations of the people and even tried to bring peace, something his father wanted. In the end, he was able to establish it as everyone smiled, but at the cost of his own life. Naruto himself arrived to take his soul with tear-filled eyes. As for gods, time was nothing more than fickle, and so for Naruto it was mere hours since his boy was born and grown up, until he too perished. As Naruto in his 20 years old form then arrived there with his handmaiden, the first handmaiden he got for his temple, which was his wife, his mortal wife, Kushina Uzumaki, as she has revived him after requesting Uncle Hades, and making sure his demigod children, both Bianca as well as Nico D'Angelo, were safe. And that is what happened. The deal was made and our Kushina's soul was given back to him, and she was now immortal eternally. And same could be said for his son soon, as he hugged his boy. I missed you, Menma. I wish I could have been there for you, son. But I couldn't because of the loss that your grandfather placed. As after that, instead, Menma punched him in the guts, as everyone was enraged, as that is when they witnessed that their grandson unleashed his tearful rant on his father. And after Naruto took everything in with the tears falling down his own eyes, he hugged his son, as did his son back. And in the end, his son said this, "You were always my hero. How can I hate you?" As Hera and Zeus for the first time were quite shocked and even wiped a few tears that fell down from their eyes. As Hestia then said, "Maybe you should have to try for young Naruto here as well. I think we will." As that is when the others who were getting annoyed witnessed that Naruto returned back to his temple which was created there, since he was now the most respected god amongst the both camps. And not only that, he didn't have any demigod except for the one that he had when he married the woman. He could still remember when he introduced Kushina to all of the council as his wife and handmaiden, and there were a few flares of chakra from Athena, Hestia, and Artemis, but he didn't understand why. But every deity was giggling left and right, while his brothers were happy and gave him a thumbs up finally. Of course we would. He has finally crossed the manhood bridge and became unvirgined himself. Said Apollo, "Shut up, Apollo, or pierce your guts with a arrow." As after that Apollo whimpered, and the story continued while everyone else chuckled. That Naruto was quite confused, as now he presented his son and their grandson in front of them. As immediately after hearing his story, much to Naruto's shock, they were aware of him and they were watching over him, as Zeus and Hera both had made him their champion, and that is why he was able to do that. And not only that, he was made a minor god who was gods of foxes, as his best friend Kurama became a spirited animal. As Naruto was happy with that. As now we see, one day Naruto was called into the throne room by the others, as a throne there was made for him, in the center of the king and queen. All hail Naruto, who is the god of sky, heaven, and earth, and the violent storms, and he is our new king. As Naruto was taken aback by this, it was a surprise drop by his father. Curses, well, dramatics, but he loved him to death, so he couldn't do anything about it, as Poseidon and everyone else chuckled. As surely enough, once Naruto settled down, now came the next target, as Hera then said, "Now as for the queens that have been chosen, I know, Naruto, you have married and you don't wish to be married to anyone else, but it is important that you do. And for that to happen, we have chosen candidates with Kushina's permission, and they have talked already together." Wait, what? As Naruto looked towards Kushina and said, "Kushina-chan, you never told this about me." "Well, Naruto, I think you should Listen into this. This will be interesting, she said while giggling with Aphrodite, who has become some sort of her best friend, as Aphrodite that could see it coming. Yeah, of course I would be. I mean, the girl has a bubbly personality, and not only that, she's, well, whole mood in her own right. As Artemis then growled, as she, Athena, and Hestia had huge blush on her face as they witnessed themselves standing there, as the others looked at them with shock-filled expression. Now that explains why you had a power flare. Of course I had realized that far too long ago, said Aphrodite. I'm the embodiment of love. As the others were quite shocked. Lady Hestia, Artemis, Athena, I know it is no place of yours, but really? I thought you swore to remain a virgin, said Michael. We thought so as well, but seems like there are things differently done here. As now we see, Athena gave her reasoning because Naruto wanted to know why they wanted to marry him and how they loved him. That ever since Naruto was young, as he was studying under her and listened to her, he always complimented her and as well as made her feel craving for more than anything else. It was love at first sight, as one might say. And as for the Artemis, it was because of his hunting skill and how he treated his, well, girls, and also treated bad fathers harshly and coldly. And not only that, he has saved Artemis multiple times. And as for Hestia, it was because of his love for family and respect and love for her that she fell in love for him. And that is why they stood forward. And in the end, Naruto, with a heavy blush, agreed to this while fainting in the throne room, while Apollo and the others cheered at that. As he then said, Sister, Mother will be so happy. Of course she would be. Finally, I'm going to be an uncle. And so now we have fast forward to a few years as Naruto's children were born. A daughter from Artemis and him who was helping out their mother named Mary. And as for Athena, she and Naruto had a son named Owen. And as for finally Hestia and Naruto, they had twins. And as for Kushina, Hestia brought it to an Himawari because he liked that name. And as for Kushina, they had a daughter named Mio again as well. Naruto had 4 wives and he treated them all like queens. He had given them all equal stuff in equality alongside his love and tender attention. As the girls blushed after hearing that, Demeter and Hera chuckled at that, as did Aphrodite, while the others were looking so golden that they could almost fade. As that is when we see that Naruto was given a letter. It was a request to arrive at the Devil Kingdom by none other than the Grammy clan head in order to marry his sister. So he brought this letter to his wives and in front of the council. What is the meaning of this? Dad, did you do something? Why looking at me? I didn't do anything. It must be your mother. As much as I would like to take credit of that, I don't think it is my work, Naruto. What do you mean by that? Then who could have done this? As Kushina chuckled, well, me and, well, Aphrodite have been visiting the other pantheons, and we have found a pretty cute girl for you to marry. You know that I said that it was enough, Kushina-chan. Why? Let's just say the poor girl is in need, because the guy she will marrying is an ass. A serious ass and a pervert, said Artemis. Okay, so I guess you all have met her. Of course we have. Geez, why do you guys not tell me anything? And I'm supposed to be king. Now I get why father gets annoyed with you all. As Zeus grumbled and agreed. See, he gets it. While others rolled their eyes and just ignored him. Same could be said for Naruto. He was respected and all, but when it came to things like this, they knew that Naruto was strict because he didn't want it any more involvement. But they, out of adoration, would do things for him like such. And so now we see Naruto arrived there. As soon as it did, because of his mere presence, the whole underworld was shaken to the core. As now we see, Naruto was standing there. Even the angel himself arrived there, as did Zazel, Lord Naruto. As all of them bowed, please don't do that. You can all stand. After all, we are friends, are we not? Of course we are. So why did you call me here? Is everything alright? He looked towards the Grammary clan here, as he then said with a smile, of course, my friend. It's just my sister. She's in a predicament and needs your help. As Issei then said, wait, where am I in this dimension? And why am I not helping her? As Kiba also agreed alongside with Akino, as well as Kuroneko, who were also there. As now we see, it was revealed that Issei was there, but as a female with a huge bust. As if Rias married Naruto, all of his spirits will be his. As Issei looked at himself and almost passed out. Is he always like that? Yep, he's a pervert, but he's our pervert. As now we see, seeing Naruto, the Riser challenged him immediately. Why? Because he wanted him to be defeated and insulted in front of them. He was in devildom and they were powerful here. But they tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. So in the end, Riser challenged him. Naruto bitch slapped him across the whole field until he was close to dying out. And then others had to come in. But that is when he made a mistake. Go run back to your mama, boy. This is not even your pantheon. Naruto went ballistic. What followed soon was eradication of almost all of the Phoenix clan, as the Phoenix clan had shivered at the mere thought, as the others were also fearful. As that is when, if it wasn't for Reese's brother intervening and the others, things could have gotten way much worse. As Naruto halted himself, never insult my parents and family. As he snapped his fingers as everything returned back to normal. The extincted almost clan returned back to its former glory. As Riser looked at him with fear, just his mere cold look from the eyes was enough to make him piss his pants. As Riser, who was watching this, now feared that he died and was revived by this being. Who was this? As Naruto then said, you should watch who you speak with, boy. I'm not so kind to those who make fun of my family, especially my parents. As he then looked towards Rias and the others. Sorry about that. I might have caused a scene, he said while rubbing the back of his head, but he forgot to look at Rias in particular, who was now blushing like a mad woman, alongside with Issei and the others, who were all females in this one. As Issei then said, wow, that was kind of hot. Issei, I didn't know you swing that way, said Kiba, as Kiba was also there, but as a form of a woman. As now we see, Naruto chuckled, as he was invited inside the Grammar clan to stay with his friend for a few hours and moments. And so he did. He helped them out and sorted matters out with the others. But that is when Azazel gave him something to do that even shocked the other two. What? Are you sure? I mean, they are your people. They might be. But more than 90% have gone rogue and do whatever they deem fit, killing mortals, raping them even. I can't do anything to stop them. I tried. We are hunting them, but it might take some time. That is why I have requested the devils to wipe them out, and even the angels. But I request you as well, Naruto, since I know you are more than capable enough, friend. Well, old friend, I guess I can do that, but you know the carnage it will cause and the headache that my parents will give me because of this, because of interfering in other pantheons' matters. Please, said Azazel Michael, as well as his friend. As now we see, Naruto grumbled, curse you all. Fine, I'll do it. As now we see Naruto, within the next year that he remained there, ignored the letters from his wives because he was fearful, and from his parents as well, and not even attended the Winter Solstice meeting, as this was already alarming enough, as after the whole event ended, he got busted. As now we see, he and with Rias' spirit was enjoying hot cocoa in a cafe when Artemis, Athena, and Hestia alongside with Kushina arrived there, and they all looked pissed. But before they could do anything, his son arrived and frisked him away. Dad, what the hell are you doing? Said Menma, his old son. What is it, Menma? You know what you've done? You pissed them all off. What? I just blocked off their letters. Of course you would. That is why they're pissed. Pissed at what, son? I didn't want it to bother them. I had a thing for a friend to do here. A favor. Yeah. An old favor to return, I guess. Dad, you suck at lying. Yeah, I guess you're right. Where are the others? As that is when Boruto and Himawari arrived there as well, and so did Owen and Mary. Geez, Dad, way to go. Wait, kids, all of you are here. Of course we are here. You know, Dad, you're screwed. Mom is pissed, said Mary. And she said that she will shove her whole bow in your ass if you don't give her a good reason. And not only that, said Owen. Mother and grandfather are even planning to come seize you away, and even going to war with the other Pantheon. As everyone else was shocked. Whoa, isn't that kind of too much? Asked Azazel and Michael. You have been hogging over him for more than a year, and we are not being in contact with him. Well, that is what he did, not us. Even if he did, we might have gotten suspicious, obviously. Of course, because of you, brother, said Poseidon. As now we see, Naruto then decided to do the next best thing that he could. He hid himself and then he gave them an Irish call. What the hell is wrong with you? Said Hestia, who was pissed at her husband. Sorry, Hestia. Everyone, you have a lot to answer to, Naruto, said Athena with her cold, stormy grey eyes. Yes, we sent you here to marry the girl and in return, after sorting matters out, not to remain there for a whole year. Yes, mind answering and telling us why, said Kushina with a sweet smile on her face. The kids backed away because their mothers were pissed and they didn't want it to come in between the four freight trains that were about to hit their father at 200 kilometers per hour speed. As Naruto gulped, listen, there is a good explanation for this. Then explain. As Naruto explained the favor that Azazel had said, even though he promised that he wouldn't. And so, after revealing this to them, they all huffed and looked away. We're not buying it. What? Come on, please. I'm being honest here. As everyone laughed at the boy's life. At least he's being honest and not lying to them. Well, he kind of did hit himself, so yes, we might be pissed. Of course you would say that, sister. You're obviously his mother, said Hestia as she frowned at her sister and brother. She was pissed at her, well, others half husband. Even if it wasn't her completely, it was still her, and he was her other husband. And she would be pissed if her husband would done something like that. As that is when Demeter chuckled, because Hestia was acting as she was the one who was married. And same could be said for Athena and Artemis, and so could be said for, well, now the others, because they knew they had an alliance with Naruto. Riser and the Phoenix clan was worried sick because Naruto hated him. Hated them all to the core, but Rias? Yeah, she was in all different league now because of, well, her being now Naruto's wife. And the others as well, as they were all happy with that. Even Kiba and Issei as well. I mean, if he treats us like our other halves, we are okay with that. As now we see Naruto bow down to his knees, the technique that he mastered from his uncle Poseidon, Hades, as well as his father. I beg you to not do this, my queens. Your father's trick won't work on us. As Naruto grumbled. Damn it, I thought this would. As everyone chuckled at that, as Zeus and Poseidon grumbled alongside with Hades. Ugh, of course it has gotten old, you fool. This wouldn't work, said Hades. As he was feeling bad, and so was Poseidon. But Zeus, he cursed. He thought that the technique would work this time around, and it should. It was invented by him, after all. As now we see Naruto in the end then said, how about I treat all of you to a vacation after this is settled? You all deserve this, and so do the others. What do you say? A one-on-one vacation with each and every one of us. For a whole month. Not too bad. Hey, we're here as well. We might want to go and enjoy ourselves as well, said Menma as the other siblings agreed. Okay, I guess. As now we see, Naruto, after having done with the call and meeting with his children, departed, and after the ceremony was done, returned back to Mount Olympus, as an establishment between the two pantheons had been made, and Naruto ruled over his new pantheon that he created on the elemental nations as well, which his wife, as Kami, watched over. Kushina became Kami of that dimension, and Menma, otherwise known as Inari, became the god, and a deity who watched over nature and all of its living beings. As now we see, after that, all of the girls were pregnant because of Naruto, and Naruto had taken all of them by splitting his essence into vacation. As now we see Zeus and Hera relaxing on a beach, while Poseidon and Amphitrite were next to them, and so was Hades and Persephone. You know, I'm glad that I passed down the throne. The relaxation and ease of mind. So that's why you did it. Of course I was fed up with listening and bickering all of the time. And this way we might also be able to, put aside our rivalries. I think you should do the same, Poseidon, and you as well, Hades. Trust me, I wish I could. Curse you, Zeus, because I can't. My daughter Melanie, he's too insane for that. I don't wish for the poorest bastard souls to be hurt that much. Yeah, Triton is still learning, and we don't think that he's ready yet. Of course he isn't, husband. As now we see, Zeus and Hera chuckled because now they knew they were way ahead because they were relaxing without any worry of the world. That doesn't sound any bad, said Zeus. For the first time in many millennia, it's not being paranoid, if anything, wanting to relax and filled with envy and jealousy. It's decided. We're going to have a child as soon as we return. So can we expect an alliance soon? As now we see, Issei grumbled while the others especially blushed. But that is when Issei and Kiba turn into girls, as it was Rias and the others doing. Well, that can be changed, Issei. You don't need to worry, as Issei and Kiba were blushing while everyone laughed. As in the end, a picture of Naruto appeared with his family that was huge, as Hestia smiled, as she had 3 children, and so Artemis was as Athena had 10, as everyone chuckled at that, and Artemis had 20 with him, as everyone chuckled at that as well, because Artemis, being the virgin and man-hating goddess, had the most children with him in the end. And Kushina, well, she and Naruto had only a few kids. And as for the other kids that were devils in of their own realm, and helping out Hades as much as they could. Really? We need to have him fast. The workload that will get off. Must have them, please. He begged to his brother and sister, who blushed. As now we see, Zeus then said, "For brother, get up. Now it's not the time, okay? We'll think and talk about this later." As in the end, everyone chuckled at that, and so the image vanished. As the voice boomed again, "You can all leave and depart now." "It was that our future, father," said Michael. "It can be or it cannot be. It all depends upon you, my children. And you as well, fellow gods." And with that, the voice ended, and the light disappeared. And after saying goodbye to one another, they returned to make sure that this Naruto came to be. I mean, even if it was a little bit too late, why not? And so, this is where I'm going to be leaving this short movie of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.